What's up, everybody? It's your favorite dirty underwear's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Hasbro's Skids. This is all known to me from Rockstar Adam. Like I said, he sent me a number of things I still have to work through. I've just been super busy. I know this isn't the most exciting thing to look at, but I did want to look at some of this stuff, and I do want to look at some of this stuff more frequently, I think, just as kind of opportunity allows. That being said, we are going to take a look at this guy. He's not great, but we are going to take a look at him and talk about why. But in order to do so, we're going to talk about accessories. So he comes with a translucent axe. It's sculpted well enough, I suppose. I would imagine that this was just a sprue thing since they had the translucent for the windows and they had extra space, and that's why we got this. Nothing really special here. He can hold it. It will also plug into any 5mm port that you can muster, to include being added on to barrels of weapons, plugged into the top of weapons, or combine the two so that he can hold the goofiest weapon ever. He comes with his, I would argue, iconic dual kind of wrist blaster. It's painted silver, which is nice to see. He can hold it. It can also fit on his wrist in the typical kind of standard way with the 5mm peg being utilized. And lastly, more of the kind of rifle bit. 5mm port, there'd be peg and port, and it's painted silver. He can hold it. It can also plug in to any 5mm port you have. And remember, there is one of those 5mm ports on his back that you could utilize for all of those weapons as well. Now, let's talk about the figure. So we'll get in tight on the head sculpt for Dennis, and it's a good head sculpt, I think. I think it's done quite well, to be honest. I think there's some like real attitude that comes through in it. I think it's actually this figure's saving grace. There's also silver paint and metallic blue paint on the eyes. Fantastic. We have the head on a ball peg. You get a swivel, slight up, slight down, slight confused look, but you're mainly getting the swivel here. We also have the chest, which is the next nicest thing about this figure, and is also kind of where the nice things conclude. But you have it. You have silver paint and yellow paint. You have the Autobot symbol there. You have the red accents there. So you actually have a fair amount of deco on this, and this, working in concert with the head, is what makes this figure passable, in my opinion. Waist swivel. And that's about it. So we have the doors. They will hinge. You can get them out of the way. We'll talk about the deco when we get to bot mode. We're going to back out car mode. Move back out a little bit here. Shoulders. So you have the hinge at the base of the shoulder that only gets you more downward. This is like kind of cheating, more so for poses and pictures, I would imagine. Your main joint is right here, which is a pin that gets you the swivel 90 degrees up and down. However, it looks a little awkward just due to the kind of logistics of the body here. No butterfly, obviously. You do get the around motion. That's where the tire pegs in to the chest piece. You have a bicep swivel. This mushroom cap, I've been noticing a lot of this recently on Hasbro figures. The limbs have been sliding off. I've had this arm pop off the mushroom cap twice now while handling it. Not the biggest deal in the world. Easily fixable, just something to be aware of. We have an elbow hinge that gets you 90 degrees. Oh, there you go. There's an example of it. How do you like that? And no wrist swivel. Same for the other side. So then we have the hips. They are pinned universals. Get you out for almost the full Van Damme. More than you'd ever need, probably. Forward and back for the full Monty. Thigh swivel. And then we have the hollowest legs I've seen on a Hasbro figure in some time. Just really a shame. I mean, just empty as my mother's eyes. Just not good at all. Nice silver paint on the thighs, though. I'm good with that. Little weird that they're blue in the back, but I'm good with it, ultimately. And then the car deco comes through nicely. Ankles, nothing up or down. You do get the rocker, which is the best thing to have out of the three options, in my opinion. And then there he is from the back. Size comparison-wise, there he is with Bulkhead and Drag Strip. We will be looking at Bulkhead. We just haven't gotten to it yet. And Drag Strip we've already looked at. And this proportionately has the same issues as Drag Strip. It looks like a little kid. It looks like a child. It has a lot to do with the lower legs and how big the calves or shins are in relation to the thighs. It's not good. Along with a big upper body, like it just looks like, I'm sorry, it just looks like a toddler. You know, that needs his nap or something. Like it's not right. it's goofy, and it makes it look less. It's one of my biggest issue with a lot of these most recent Hasbro Transformers is a lot of the kind of this scale, whatever you want to call it now. I can't keep it straight. It used to be a deluxe, but whatever this scale is now, the proportions are wonky. Wonky donkey. All right, let's get him transformed. So take the arms up. Be careful of this little joint there. And we're going to lift the vehicle mode up. You can then swing the arms around, and they obviously have to go where the tire is facing out, right? On both sides. And take the legs. You want to move at this hinge here. This is kind of like a reverse ab crunch. And collapse that down. Actually, you can open up these bits here too. So that the pelvis is sitting on top of the abdomen. And then you can move the legs in, and that will bring these two bits here. But let's move these arms in first, shall we? There is a little notch right there. You want the arms to grab that. On both sides. Oh, I got this. And then you can bring up these bits here. And then really it's just a matter of smushing it all together. Not the most graceful finishing touches, but they work. And then fold the wheels up. And I'll clean it up, obviously, and we'll take a look at it. So it rolls. The paint looks unfinished. Like, it looks like it should continue. I'm not even sure if that's accurate or not, but it looks like it should. This doesn't look much like a vehicle to me. I have a hard time getting the roof stuck in. I'm not sure if anyone else has that problem, but I do. And the door's open, which is nice enough. Yeah, I don't think this is great. I kind of think it's passable, but not great. Remember, you do have the 5mm port up here that all of your weapons can, of course, fit into in any sort of kind of obnoxious assembly that you can imagine. Let's see if we can't make this super dumb. There we go. So you know, whatever works for you, you can pull that off. Once again, I think that the front looks good. But I think that honestly, that's about it. That's all that's really got going for it. However, everything does look better with a little Tiger Tracks in the mix. There it is next to him. Final thoughts wise, let's start with the negatives. A lot of it is in vehicle mode for me. I can't get the roof to peg in quite properly. To be fair, I'm not the best transformer, so to speak, out there, so maybe it's a me issue and not a Skids issue. I also don't like the kind of start-stop nature of the paint deco in the alt mode, and most of it seems unfinished to me, both in terms of paint and the way that the rear of the vehicle looks. Not crazy about it. Robot mode, I have that bicep joint popping off the mushroom peg consistently. I have a ton of hollowness, sort of throughout the figure, which is distracting and not aesthetically pleasing, I might add. And lastly, I don't like the proportions. I know some people don't feel the same way. I can't speak for you. I can only speak for me. And I find the proportions to be really distracting and childlike. As for the positives, there is a fair bit of paint on this guy, and they put the paint in the right places, which is to say the places that are sculpted well and sort of display best. Namely, head and shoulders like the shampoo. And chest, to be fair, it just doesn't have the same shampoo ring, does it? I also like that they're painting the weapons. Most of the kind of articulation is there. I'd like to see wrist swivels. I'd like to see a little bit more in the ankles, but sort of the nuts and bolts, bare minimum requirements for me of an action figure, articulation-wise, are there, which is nice to see. Do I recommend it? No, I don't think it's a high caliber thing, even for the price point. I think it's less than what they normally do, but that's my opinion. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.